What's up, guys? It's Crash, and we're back in the Battlefield wheelhouse today talking about some of the news about the future of the game, the single-player aspect of everything, and what is going on with the franchise. I'm not going to talk too much about Season 4, as you guys are probably already getting that information from some of the other awesome Battlefield YouTubers. I haven't been sticking with the game and playing it very much, so I don't feel like making videos on that would be very fair to you guys. But when something's going on with the franchise, I'm incredibly invested in it. It's one of my favorite. It is my favorite franchise, pretty much of all time, and I really want us to see it succeed and turn things around. So when stuff's going on behind the scenes, when there's news about Battlefield as a franchise, we're going to cover it on this channel. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. The channel's still doing okay, talking about variety FPS content, news, and discussions. I'm loving making videos, and for everyone that's sticking around, I appreciate you so much. So anyway, what I wanted to do is I thought the easiest way is just to kind of pull this stuff up on screen and talk about it with you guys. But essentially, DICE is building a new single-player team for a future Battlefield game. Now, we originally thought I'll just show this statement right here kind of summarizes how everything has been and how we've understood it, but it kind of raises some more questions for me, and I want to see what you guys think. So DICE was focused on the multiplayer aspect. We knew that. Ridgeline Games, the new team led by Halo co-creator Marcus Leto in Seattle, is building the single-player campaign. Meanwhile, LA-based Ripple Effect is creating a completely different Battlefield experience. You know, we haven't seen anything going on with Portal, which was their project, so they are likely, obviously, working on the next thing. So what kind of got me here was I was always under the assumption, and you guys can tell me if I'm way off base, if I'm like completely incorrect, but I always kind of thought that the Ridgeline game was going to be its own single player experience. That's kind of how the wording was, but it was a little vague. But when you see this word right here, aspect, you see aspect, and it makes you think the multiplayer aspect of the game, or the single player aspect of the game, and that kind of makes you think it's under one umbrella. Now, I guess that umbrella could be one Battlefield title, like the same game, or it could be, I guess, an aspect of the franchise. So it's still a little muddy whether these will be standalone games. That remains to be seen. But the big change that this article is talking about that was published today is the change here is DICE is expanding its team to help Ridgeline Games in the creation of that single player adventure. So it sounds like there could be some continuity in the projects, as well as, I think a key word in this statement is expanding, right? So they're adding to the team. They're not taking any resources away from that multiplayer aspect, and they're expanding the team, which, if this is true, is definitely a good thing. They're not taking anything away. They're just putting on another team to help Ridgeline Studios. So that's kind of the big news. It sounds like they're really taking the campaign part of this seriously. So it will remain to be seen if it is standalone, which I thought it was, or if it's going to be kind of under one game umbrella. The pricing and stuff is going to be interesting to watch too, how that's going to play out. So if you're still an active player in the game, you likely know everything coming with Season 4, the new specialist and the new map and everything like that. But what is surprising to me, and has been since they announced it, I realized they announced it, is the Season 5 map. It's in full development, and the team is super excited about the new map. So they gave us a look at the Season 5 map. Now, I don't know if they're going to keep doing maps. I really hope so. This update kind of gets that vibe of this one right here. I pulled this up. The last Battlefield 5 update in June, when we kind of got that Al Marj encampment map, and they kind of ended everything with that. I'm hoping that that is not the case with this map. I hope they will kind of, you know, I guess since they're only doing one map, it wouldn't be that hard, I wouldn't think, to keep up with that amount of content going forward into the next game, to keep us from having that massive content drought. I don't know if you guys remember that content drought when they ended Battlefield 5 and they ended Battlefront 2 to work on this. There was nothing coming out of DICE for that longest time to build 2042, and I just hope we don't hit that again. So I'm hoping we can still get seasons, add a few weapons, do some balancing updates, rework some other maps, and you know, at least add maps from time to time. Now it looks like this is its own thing. Let me know what you guys think on this. But when I first saw it, I thought Zavod, like, really quick, because I saw the train and the kind of broken down buildings in the background with a little tower. And then I've also heard Giants of Corellia, which I totally get with the snow and mountains and stuff. But it is going to be its own map, right? So it's its own thing, but it is looking like it's taking inspiration from that with the train tracks, and everyone always thinks Gold Mud when you see the train. But yeah, I think it's its own thing. But what I'm noticing from this, and we did see this in other concept art, but if the map does release like this, it looks like a finished map, right? Like with the graffiti, with the pallets, the dumpsters, the broken down pile of debris, all this stuff laying around it, and the fire, and it actually looks like a finished map. Now, I know some of the other concept art definitely did not reflect what the maps actually looked like. They were much more sterile, much more empty and clean. It did not look like Battlefield maps like they'd been war torn and stuff like that. So with this one, where they're saying that, you know, you're going to set foot on a forgotten battleground where armies clashed decades ago, this thing needs to look dilapidated, right? It needs to look ran down. It needs to look like a former war zone. So hopefully they can make it look like this, and it'll be pretty cool. And honestly, you know, I haven't really played the game very much since like season 1, season 2. If I just keep waiting and they add one map a season and I come back in season 5, it's like a Battlefield 1 DLC, right? Like I get all those maps at once. But anyway, when they said it was a map that had been, you know, armies that clashed decades ago, all of us kind of thought reworks and stuff like that, but it is not. It looks like it's its own thing. But I'm still just floored, guys. Like when I saw this and that feeling of Zavod hit me and stuff, it's just like, what is going on with Portal? You know, like I cannot believe they haven't added any of those remastered maps of Portal. I sure feel like it would be a slam dunk. And to just to kind of drive that point home, you guys, I pulled this up. You can actually play Operation Metro in Halo Infinite and not Portal. So kind of let that sink in. Death Templar made it in Halo Forge. I've actually downloaded it and messed around with it, and it's kind of cool. But I don't know what they're doing with Portal, man. I feel like they need to add some of these fan favorite maps, because that little feeling I got when I saw Zavod, like butterflies in my stomach for a second. But anyway, guys, that's the news. That's what's going on with Battlefield. Let me know down in the comments what you think. I just kind of wanted to talk about it. I know the video was kind of all over the place. It was a little bit of a discussion video, but I super appreciate you watching. If you guys want to support the channel, keep your money, hit that subscribe button, and be a friend, tell a friend, and we'll see you guys later on.